for Tehachapi Talks for the week of November 13th. It was a busy week for all of us here at the city, but we were down in Bakersfield for part of it. Some of our elected and city officials attended the Kern Energy Summit, where we were able to learn about new technologies like carbon capture and hydrogen power and how they're being implemented locally and around the country and even the world. We also took a look at how Tehachapi can fit into the energy industry as well. There were presentations from local colleges, leaders in the industry, and innovators bringing new perspectives to the energy industry. But back here at home, the upcoming blood drive is right around the corner. That'll be held on Wednesday, November 29th. Houchin Blood Bank recently sent out a message saying that local hospitals are seeing an urgent need for O-negative blood type. But of course, all blood donations are welcome and needed. There are still appointments available for the November 29th blood drive. You can sign up online at hcbb.com. And stay tuned next week for a podcast with Houchin Blood Bank talking about all the local happenings and what you need to know about blood donations. And several new stop signs have been installed around town. The goal is to increase safety at Snyder and Anita, which is where 2 of those stop signs have been installed, as it is a school zone. Several new stop signs have also been installed on Pinion. The addition of those signs come some public comment and concern for speeding drivers on Pinion after its expansion is what helped bring the installation of those signs in the area. Chief Richard Standridge encourages drivers to be aware and slow down as you drive through these areas as people adjust to the new traffic controls. And can you feel it in the air yet? The Christmas spirit is here. If you haven't seen it, the Christmas tree is up at the Depot Museum. So it's time to go take your family photos there at the tree and enjoy the Hallmark Christmas feel that downtown Tehachapi will soon have to offer. And speaking of Christmas, TCTA has announced its December show, which will be Coney Island Christmas. This week, we hosted a podcast with Lisa Meredith and Lisa McKenzie, the director and assistant director of the show, on Tehachapod to tell us all about the show. Here's a little sneak peek.
It's a comedy, but also very heartwarming. It really pulls at the heartstrings. There's a good tug there where you're like, "Aw." So
it's definitely a feel good. And we have, I think, 16 kids and 6 adults. But we have such committed and enthusiastic a cast that it's just wonderful.
You can buy tickets online at tctonstage.com right now. Now, I know I've plugged Tehachapod twice already in this episode, and clearly you guys don't need to hear me talk about it more because, well, you're listening to it. But it is important to note that this is an award-winning podcast that you're listening to. I'm currently looking at a shelf where there's at least a dozen awards that have been amassed over the years, but even just this year, the podcast has received 2 silver awards, recognizing our wonderful hosts and for community interest episodes. So, go Tehachapod. Anyways, if you need more of a Tehachapi fill, be sure to check out our social media at City of Tehachapi on all platforms. And the video version of this episode can also be found there. So go give it a watch. That'll do it for this week's episode. We'll see you next week.